prior to a company attempting a takeover of another company, sometimes the bidder will acquire what's called a toehold position. And a toehold is just when the company acquires a small position, typically less than 5% of the target shares. Okay. Now, the reason that's the 5% threshold is in the United States, when you acquire 5%, basically get more than 5% in a company, you have to file the Schedule 13D with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So you say, well, what's the big deal? Just go ahead and file the form. Well, the thing is, when you file this form, now everybody else is going to know, okay, wait, company A has got a position in company B, so maybe I'm interested in company B. It might attract other bidders and have like a bidding war and so forth. And you might not want your intentions to be entirely public. So you might just acquire like 4.5% or something like that in the target. So you say, well, why would you even do this? Why wouldn't you just go and initially just launch or just make a tender offer? Why would you go and acquire 4.5% or 3% in a company before launching a takeover attempt? And there are a number of advantages to this toehold strategy. One is that so if you were just to go straight out and just say, I'm just going to make a tender offer, and I'm going to make a tender offer, let's say with a tender offer, the tender offer is always made at a premium to what the existing share price is. So let's say the existing share price is $22 a share, and so the tender offer would be $27 a share. But if you say, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to make a tender offer yet. What I'm going to do is buy as many shares as I can at $22 a share. Okay. And then later, so I'll get 4% or something. And then later, I'll make a tender offer to try and get the remaining shares. So you're buying shares. It's a cost advantage is you're getting the shares at this price instead of just having to pay a premium for all of them. So it can save you money. And then also another thing is once you buy that 4.5% or 4.8% or whatever the percentage you get for your toehold, now you have some influence over management. You are now a shareholder, and that is a significant amount of shares, own 4.5% of a publicly traded company. Okay, so you're not a controlling shareholder, anything like that. You don't control the firm, but you do have some influence. You do have a seat at the table, so to speak. You are a shareholder owning a significant amount of shares, and as a shareholder, you get to vote. So you can have some influence over the company's decision-making. Now, if you get this toehold, but it ends up that some other bidder gets into the picture and they end up acquiring the firm that you were trying to acquire, all is not lost, because if this rival bidder comes in and buys that company, they are probably going to have to pay a premium. Let's say they come in and they make a tender offer and they end up getting the firm. Well, then you're going to get a premium for those shares you acquired in that toehold position. So there's a number of advantages to having the toehold. The main disadvantage is if the target firm sees, oh, wait, this person got, or this company got a hold of, 4.5% of our firm, they might not like that. And if they get defensive, the board of directors for the target could say, okay, well, we see a takeover attempt coming. We don't want to see that happen. And they could, for example, adopt a poison pill or some other kind of anti-takeover measures to try and prevent you and thwart you from doing an eventual takeover. Now, an example of a toehold position, so this company, Green Growth Brands, they're a cannabis retailer, and they acquired a toehold position in Africa. Okay, and then after that, they had the toehold position, and then later they attempted a hostile takeover of Africa. They were offering a stock-for-stock deal in 2018, but their hostile takeover wasn't successful.